The door is still open for refugees coming to Uganda,
We are not going to change.
despite the COVID-19 pandemic.
Our progressive policy will remain even post-COVID.
But some asylum seekers want to abuse the opportunity, which Uganda is not willing to entertain.
In South Sudan, the lawless elements have continued to preach tribalism, and those tribalism messages are the ones which have continued to fan the fire of war in South Sudan, the tribal sentiments. Unfortunately for the refugees, they also come into Uganda with those sentiments. They carry into Uganda those feelings of hatred among themselves.
This concern originates from the fight that erupted on Monday evening in Palorinya refugee settlement in Obongi district. A Nuer teenager from Itula sub-county was accused of stealing maize from a garden belonging to a member of the Kuku ethnic group. He was assaulted and rushed home crying, attracting the attention of his tribe mates, leading to the said clashes.
And 4 cobs of maize triggering fighting that leads to so many injuries and massive destruction worth millions of shillings. That needs to be handled, and we continue to discourage them, and we will continue to enforce order. We are not going to deport somebody because he's lawless. We will arrest and put into our systems of justice.
Authorities may not be worried about this, but are certainly more concerned. This is perhaps one of the reasons why a high-level meeting was organized to evaluate the progress of the Comprehensive Refugee Response Framework.
Before we talk about taking on additional burden, like managing trust funds and so on, let's consolidate what we have, because we still have a long way to go on certain things.
As we are here discussing, there's a discussion going on right now also about how to move towards a program-based approach, because the president has signed NDP 3. And they want to start it for the fiscal budget year 2020-2021 and accelerate it for the next. Is the CRF and its requirements part of that discussion? I ask.
In attendance was State Minister for Local Government, Jennifer Namyangu, who expressed readiness to support the cause.
To support Uganda's refugee response and to ensure orderliness in planning and implementation of activities by the different players in refugee hosting districts.
Our positive refugee program is going to continue with or without COVID-19. We are very convinced that we'll defeat COVID-19 as a country, as citizens, and as the people who are residing in Uganda. We'll defeat it for as long as we continue to adhere with the guidance of the President and the SOPs of the Minister of Health.
The Comprehensive Refugee Response Framework envisions a world where refugees have access to countries where they are safe. This is why the open door policy still stands in Uganda, with over 1.4 million refugees currently living in the country. Henry Okrut, UBC.